Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. NFL free agency is heating up. I think NFL free agency officially starts on the 13th of March, of course. So it's heating up, and this next week it's heating up. We're seeing a lot of different people getting released from their contracts. We see a lot of things happening, a lot of scenarios, guys getting franchise tagged and guys getting denied the franchise tag and becoming free agents. So we're seeing a lot of different things happening. Of course, the main thing that we're seeing right off the back is, of course, the Broncos. The Broncos are blowing it up. Earlier this morning, they just released Justin Simmons, former All-Pro safety, who's been with them for like 8 seasons. You know, multi-time Pro Bowlers, a good player who's still very young as well. He'll probably find a destination, find a home pretty easily, another team. But they got to find a way to just, make up the cap space because it's $85 million dead cap for the Russell Wilson release, which was crazy. I think he did a good, solid job last year with the Broncos. The Broncos kind of didn't believe him fully. Well, mostly Sean Payton didn't really believe in him fully. If you pay a guy that much money, you have to ride with him one more year, at least 3 years, to see if you can get it right. Because you're seeing some things you could build off of last year, but they wanted to go a different approach. So now Russell Wilson is a free agent now. And also the Broncos got to pick up that $85 million dead cap. So it's going to be very hard for them to sign anybody. So they have to release some guys. They got to release some other players on their team who have some high contracts as well, high cap hits on their salary, to kind of like lower the money a little bit, to try to open some spots to be able to fill some holes in some spots and prepare for the draft as well. But we're going to see what happens. But I think Russell Wilson to find a home somewhere. I know people had said the Steelers, the Falcons, all type of things, like different teams. They're talking about, I know one report said from the Athletic said that the Steelers was not interested in Wilson or Fields. Unless it come out of Coach Tomlin or Omar Khan's mouth, I don't believe it. But I think the Falcons should be a team interested. The Steelers should be interested. And a lot of the teams should be interested too as well, because you look at your team and you see you one piece away. The main piece that you need is quarterback. You should be interested in Russell Wilson. He's an 8-time Pro Bowl, I think 9-time Pro Bowler, 8-time Pro Bowler, been to the Super Bowl 2 times, won a Super Bowl as well. He's an amazing player. A good leader as well too. I think in the right system, in the right scheme, he still has enough juice to get it done. Especially with the Falcons, who have a lot of talent. Steelers have a lot of talent around as well. And maybe the Vikings and other teams as well, who want maybe trying to move on or do something different. I know Kirk Cousins, another person I want to talk about as well. Landing spots in free agency could be the Falcons, could be back with the Vikings again, or it could be somewhere else. You never know what could happen. Maybe Commanders. Maybe go back to Commanders. Maybe go back home, back to Washington, where he started his career off at. When he was signed, he got drafted there, I think in the 4th round. 4th or 5th round, so maybe go back there. But Kirk Cousins had made a lot of money during free agency because he was one of those guys who took the franchise tag multiple times. They kept franchise tagging him over and over. He took all those franchise tags and made that money, got a big contract, and now he's trying to work on maybe getting extended with the Vikings or maybe going to a different spot. So we'll see exactly where he lands. But the free agency has been real crazy for quarterbacks and for the Broncos in general, and also running back market. You look at Saquon Barkley. Is set to become a free agent as well. Barkley is an amazing player. Injuries has caught up to him a lot, but he's an amazing player overall. I think in the right system, right scheme, and you get the right amount of usage, he can go out there and emerge and be a star player for a contending team. The Texans is a team that comes to mind. You look at Justin Simmons. The Texans could use another safety. They could use a Saquon Barkley. And plus, when you're a young quarterback, C.J. Stroud is playing at a high level already in his first season. It opens up so much more what you can do in free agency, because you can go out there and build a Super Bowl roster right now, because you ain't got to pay him that big money until maybe 2-3 years later down the line. So you can go build this Super Bowl all-star level lineup roster to try to win a Super Bowl within these next 2-3 years, and try to maximize on the cap space and maximize on all the opportunities. And the Texans are going to be a team to be reckoned with, I think, next season as well, because this past season they did a very good job at 10-7 winning their division. And now you see they added Justin Simmons, they added Saquon Barkley to the still have a lot of draft capital from the Browns. The Browns gave them that trade for Deshaun Watson. So they have a lot of draft capital still, adding on talent and more talent. They're going to be a team that's going to be up there contending for the AFC Championship game, and also a team that could be contending for the Super Bowl as well, especially with not paying your young quarterback yet, because you ain't got to pay him until they're down the line. So we're going to see what happens. Another thing too as well, you look at Derrick Henry. He's going to be somewhere too, a contending team as well. Maybe Buffalo. You never know. Buffalo, Derrick Henry, and James Cook will be cool. Or maybe go to I don't know, the New York Jets or somewhere. The Cowboys would probably be the best bet. He do a lot of training in Dallas in the off season. A lot of training there. He trained in the off season a lot and stuff. You see Derrick Henry around town. I live in Dallas. You see Derrick Henry around town and stuff. He do a lot of training here And I don't know if you live in Dallas in the offseason or not, but he be in Dallas a lot. Like they always see some type of event or some type of thing, training thing, or you see him like you see some crazy workouts he doing with like sledding, 300 pounds and all type of things he be doing. You see him. So I think maybe Dallas would be a good bet for him, a good decision for him to go to Dallas because you look at their roster, how it's scoped it out. Tony Pollard is a good running back. Like I mentioned before, when they released Ezekiel Elliott, I said Tony Pollard was not going to be as effective because he's not an all-purpose back. He's not one of those guys who can get all those touches and go out there and merge. He's a good talent, but he's more as a complementary piece. He's more as a secondary piece, being in the receiving game and also being a guy who could be a change of pace back for you. So having Derrick Henry and maybe Tony Pollard, if he does come back, I think he's a free agent if I'm not mistaken. So if they do find a way to get a deal done, bring him back, bring in Derrick Henry. You have that 1-2 punch right there. You can get back to that old school style Cowboys was loving a few years ago when they had Zeke balling, being the power ball and going downhill, and then they had Tony Pollard being complimentary to him and making plays. So we'll see what happens with that. Najee Harris as another player as well. He's not a free agent, but the Steelers are still contemplating his fifth-year option. I don't know why. As you guys know, I'm a Steelers fan. You can still probably see from the posters in the back. But they're contemplating Najee Harris fifth-year option. I don't know why they're doing that for. Najee Harris has rushed for over 1,000 yards in 3 straight seasons, the first Steeler to ever eclipse 1,000 yards to start their career off 3 straight years like that. So it's a new record now for him. And he also has scored more touchdowns, and repeat this, more touchdowns combined, for his receiving and rushing, than all the quarterbacks we had started in the past 3 years. Let that sink in right there. Najee Harris has more touchdowns combined than all the quarterbacks starting the past 3 years. And I think he might have more touchdowns combined than the receivers as well, if I'm not mistaken, because maybe the past 2 years, I think, too. Because you look at Jesse Johnson, he had a few. George Pickens had a few as well. And you look at, you look at Pat Fireman. I think he might have had more than them, too, as well. So Najee Harris has been our driving force. You look at some of the touchdowns they've scored and some of the yardage, and you actually break down the numbers in that sense. Najee Harris has been an absolute stud, absolute beast for the Steelers, and he has never missed a game. Let me knock on some wood. He's never missed a game with injury. Najee has played every game. He only had 1 career fumble in the regular season and 1 fumble in the playoffs, I think, the Chiefs game. And Najee is an amazing player, amazing individual. He's versatile, powerful. He's a good leader. He's the reason he became a leader of the team, a team captain in year 2, because he has that mentality. He's a guy who I can see on the team for 10 plus years, 10 to 12 plus years, and retiring as a Steeler. Playing as a Steeler, retiring as a Steeler. So hopefully the Steelers do pick a 5th-year option up. And I think he's only like at a $5 million. He's like $5 million or $6 million. And I think they probably work on maybe extension, maybe lay down the line, maybe give him a 3-year deal worth up to $30 million, maybe $20 million guaranteed, $24 million guaranteed. We're getting paid between $8 to $10 million a year like that. I think that'd be warranted. He doesn't miss games. Y'all always say availability is the best ability. He's here every game, and he ball every game. When he's not playing great, we don't look great. Najee Harris has been a driving force for the team, been an all-star force for the team. We see him every year get better and better. I think last year, even though his numbers wasn't the same as his first year, where he had 1,200 yards, last year I felt like he ran better because he had less touches, and he did a lot more with the less touches, and he was able to split it between the two, with him and Warren, and actually better for him for the long run because you've seen how later in the season, how he heated up, and those cold temperatures where teams don't want to go out there and tackle a guy like Najee Harris, and when it's 20 degrees, when it's 15 degrees, and he just getting the football and keep pounding through you and making things happen. So I think Najee Harris is warranted for that and to get that 5th-year option. So hopefully they get it done. Or unless they work on an extension to try to extend him longer term, that'd be even better. Justin Fields, trade value was on. They said that there's a report that the Bears said they haven't been getting the same amount of what they wanted looking for the trade value for Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields, in my opinion, if I was trading for him, I think it'd be warranted. At most, case scenarios, I was trying to outbid somebody, I really, really wanted them, I say 2nd-round pick. But I say it's probably around 3rd-round pick, really. If you look at his numbers, it's not nothing spectacular. He has talent, but you kind of trading and banking on him being, bringing that potential out of him fully, being consistent throughout his tenure. And, kind of like saying, okay, I'm bringing that potential out. If I have the right team built around him, I can try to bring that potential out, Justin Fields, and let him emerge to be that top pick that we saw in college and we saw in spurts and sparks and flashes doing with the Bears. So you're kind of betting on that and banking on that. So I think he's not warranted a 1st-round pick, or maybe a 2nd-round pick if you have to outbid somebody. But I think 3rd round is where the talks should kind of start around that area, because you can look at it like this: the Bears have no leverage really, because you can draft Caleb Williams, you just have 2 quarterbacks, and then Justin Fields, when he plays, he becomes free agent eventually, because you're not going to extend him even longer. Become free agent eventually, and anybody can go out there and bid for him. So they kind of don't have any leverage really fully in that sense. So whether they want to go out there and trade for Justin Fields or they want to roll with Justin Fields being a quarterback and draft Caleb Williams at 1 as well and have him sit behind for a year to learn some things, and then Justin Fields go off and branch off in free agency, and then you bring in Caleb Williams be your guy. We'll see what happens with the Bears. Kind of like how the Chiefs did it with Alex Smith. Alex Smith was the starter, you know. Patrick Mahomes got drafted. The Chiefs traded up like 15 spots, I think, to get Patrick Mahomes. They got Patrick Mahomes. It was 15 spots, I think like 9 spots, like 8, 9 spots to get Patrick Mahomes. They got Mahomes, drafted him, let him sit out the whole year until that last game against the Broncos. We've seen some talent from him, you know, rushing touchdown, had 240 yards, 2 interceptions in that game. But you just see the way he played, you're like, okay, he's gonna be good. And then the following year, Alex Smith become a free agent, and then Patrick Mahomes went off to become one of the best quarterbacks we've seen in this generation. 50 passing touchdowns and 3 Super Bowls and MVPs and all type of things. So I think they could go that approach. I ain't saying he's gonna have that success like Patrick Mahomes, but sitting down for a year and sculpting things out and learning like that behind a guy like Justin Fields, you know, who's been in the league for a little while, and learning behind, you know, a lot of the veterans around the team and seeing different quarterbacks around the league and just analyzing could help out a lot. You know, maybe they want to do that approach, but we'll see what the Bears do. But they don't really have the leverage in this talks and these debates and stuff. And you know, they always say if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. It's like they're trying to battle out for that spot and stuff. You want to have one bona fide guy and a guy who's a bona fide secondary guy. So we're going to see what the Bears going to do. Another thing, too, Christian Wilkins is, I think, heading to free agency as well. So the Dolphins going to try to find a way to sign him back. I know Josh Allen from the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars will probably find a way to bring him back. Chris Jones, another guy, too, a big free agent name as well, who might be a free agent, but I think the Chiefs probably find a way to bring him back. L'Jarius Sneed, they say he was in talks with different teams. They said teams are discussing, and rumor that teams are going out there gunning for him. They said the Steelers. It was saying they said Steelers. They said Falcons. It said Texans. It was a lot of different teams like L'Jarius Sneed, and he's a good player. And you know, you compare him with some of the guys you have. So imagine AJ Terrell and L'Jarius Sneed, or Joey Porter Jr. and L'Jarius Sneed. So it's a lot of teams gunning for those teams, for those players right there. So we're going to see if the Chiefs find a way to bring those guys back, or if the Chiefs go a different approach. Maybe they focus on offense. You know, defense was very good last year for them. I think they probably go to approach maybe of more offense, to add a little more offense, kind of like balance it out. Maybe sign a guy in the offensive side, or they could go to approach in the draft, drafting a guy in the offensive side as well. I know they seen Rashee Rice do a very good job his rookie season, but they need to add more. They need more receivers on the outside as well. So we're going to see what they're going to do. But this is all I got for the video today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about the free agency news going on, and about the Broncos rebuilding, and about the Falcons quarterback situation, the Steelers quarterback situation, the Texans being in prime position to be a Super Bowl caliber team right now. And the Bengals are going to give Joe Burrow some help. That's another thing, too, if I had to talk about. The Bengals will give Joe Burrow some help around the offensive line. You know, he's a very good player. When he's healthy, they've been to the... Even though I'm a Steelers fan, you know, I don't like the Bengals like that. But Joe Burrow's a very good player. I like watching his game. You know, when he's healthy, they've been to the conference championship or the Super Bowl like that. But he's been injured, you know, twice. He had an ACL tear in his rookie season. Then he had a torn ligament in his hand that came out for the season. So he has some season-ending injuries twice in his career so far. So hopefully they go out there and build the O-line now, so he's taking all these hits and getting sacked all the time and stuff. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think and what's going to go on. But I'll see you guys next time on the channel, which will probably be maybe not Friday. Well, might not be Friday. It might be Saturday. So peace out.